punk little suckers, man. God, I can't stand y'all. Start the clip. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's Twin Turbo here, and I am wearing sunglasses. No, I don't need these on, so I'm just going to take them off. So, listen, there's a topic that seems to keep coming up that a lot of people want to share their opinion about. The last couple of videos I made kind of had people in an uproar, and there was a major thing that I kept seeing people coming up and popping up and saying. And that kind of refers to who I like to main. As you all guys know, if you've been watching the channel or see anything like that, I main Lars. Now, I like Lars. I've liked Lars since Tekken 6. Ever since Lars came out, I thought he was a really cool character. Everything that I seen him do was totally badass. I'm crazy into anime, so Lars kind of fit that mold for me. So when I started playing with Lars, it was like an automatic, yo, I like this guy. So I dropped who I was playing at the time, which was Raven, because he was the most anime I guess it could get in Tekken. So I dropped him and I started playing Lars. And it's just been me and the guy Lars ever since. But with that being said, my recent post that I put it up talking about, people practicing their fundamentals and knowing certain things that they need to do, a lot of people were telling me that since I play Lars, I can't talk about fundamentals. And then when I asked them why, they said, well, Lars is a cheesy character. He plays himself and he just goes on autopilot. There's might be some truth to that, but I honestly think you can apply that to everybody. So apparently, if you pick Lars, you're not allowed to talk about fundamentals. That's wild to me, since when did characters' toolkits invalidate everything a player learns? If I'm learning something and I can apply it to the game in a universal level, doesn't that mean that I can share something that kind of holds some weight? I don't know. But in this video, I wanted to ask a real question. Let's talk about easy characters. Skill expression and why picking someone accessible doesn't mean that you're pressing an auto win button. That's not what that means. You still have to learn and know certain things while you're playing this game, and you can apply that to any type of character that you want to pick up. Like I said before, I started playing Lars because Lars fits my playstyle. He's a character that I kind of just blended with as soon as I started playing with him. When he came out in Tekken 6, was he a lot more easier to pick up? Well, of course. Lars is based on simplicity of picking up for that time. And going out, understanding the rest of Tekken has kind of been following suit with each character that they come out and create has been a bit more easier and easier to pick up and learn. And the reason for that is because, well, Bandai Namco had a question. How do we bring new people who want to play our game and want to keep them? Well, the only way they can do that is by creating characters that people can easily pick up on. Because Tekken is a hard game. It's not one of those games that you could just pick up and play, be a POV and just shoot everybody and spawn every 5-10 seconds. It's not a team-based game. It's a game where it's solely applied upon you and what you learn and what you can show that you've learned and how you can put it all together. So let's address the easy character label. What makes a character easy? Well, somebody that's easy to pick up, someone that you feel powerful with, and I guess what a lot of people would like to put together is that since a character is strong, that means he's easy. Well, some characters are more beginner friendly, but that's by design. That's how the game was created. So certain characters could be picked up easily. Yes, characters like Lars, Claudio, Fang, Lily to a certain extent, the newer characters, Lydia, Leroy is an easy to pick up character. Shoot, I would even argue that Fakuram is a bit of an easy to understand and pick up character. But that doesn't necessarily make them mean that they're going to win the game for you. Hell, Azucena, Katarina, many of these newer characters that came out are very easy to play. Well, easier to pick up and learn. Since they're easier to pick up to learn and they're designed that way, that doesn't mean that they're brain dead, and it damn sure doesn't mean that you don't need any awareness, adaptation, discipline, or spacing or fundamentals to even use these characters. That's not what that means at all, especially at high levels. Tekken isn't a rhythm game. There's no script to follow. You still got to make the reads, space properly with the management, heat system, play defense, not get blown up, not throw out unsafe moves. You got to kind of know what you're doing still. So-called easy characters still needs skill to pilot, or you're just pressing buttons and spamming. This is another fact too for my character. If Lars was so brain dead, then why isn't everybody with Tekken King, Tekken Emperor, Tekken God with Lars? Because it still takes time to learn the character, and not only learn the character, but to master the character, so that way you can take them to higher levels. Because you know what's actually hard? Picking a simple character and still outplaying people who think because their character needs high execution automatically makes them better than you. It's not about how many just frame endpoints you can land. It's about how well you can understand the entirety of the game. Because for the most part, when people say or try to undermine your accomplishments by saying that your character doesn't count, what they're really are saying is, I need an excuse to say why you beat me. So people can't confuse your character tools helped you with your character played for you, because one is a fact and the other one is just salt. I remember one time, for example, for me, I had a friend and he really wanted to play Tekken. So I got him the game. And once he got the game, he just started trying to find his main. At a certain point, he couldn't really find anybody who was matching his playstyle. And since he had to work because we're all adults, he really didn't have the time to really dedicate himself to learning one of the legacy characters. So instead, what he wanted to do was he picked up Negan at the time in Tekken 7. And if anybody knows about Negan, Negan was super simple, super easy to play. He could blast you across the screen without even using any type of movement or any type of execution. There were times when he was learning and I was learning, I was playing Lars and he would be kicking my butt sometimes. And because I was in my ego and I was upset that I was losing, because I thought, hey, this has been my main, I've been playing so long, how is he able just to overrun me and all he's doing is playing this character? I was in my ego and I said, hey, you know, your character's cheap. Your wins don't count. You got to play a legacy character. It was unfair for me to tell him, hey, you need to go and play with another character so I could win, so I could feel like all my hard work didn't just go out the window. It wasn't necessarily of him enjoying the game or either one of us enjoying the game. It was just me being salty, feeling some type of way. So I just needed to come up with any type of excuse to make or validate why I felt that way. What had happened was I calmed down, I reflected myself and said, yo, listen, he's going to play whatever character he's allowed to play with. He's in the game. You can't get mad at him if you don't know the matchup, if you don't know how to punish, and if you don't know what to do with the character. What I did was I took myself and I took the time to practice, to learn, to know these things. So that way, the next time I played him, I shut him out. And it felt kind of awesome. But at the same time, it made him want to get better. So while we were playing, sparring, he got better, I got better, and we both reached a higher rank in Tekken 7 that we really thought we never would. With that being said, it all comes down to you at the end of the day. If you want to just be a saltmeister because you think that somebody is playing this character and they're like, oh man, you're only winning because that character does it for you. First of all, you're an adult. I know you're an adult because most adults play this game. But the way your mindset is, it isn't acting like an adult. You're acting like a child. That's not an insult. That's just observation of what I'm seeing. And we shouldn't be like that in this community. It should take a point that we can honestly look at ourselves and say, hey, what can I do so I can get better? At the end of the day, play who you want to play. Learn the game. Climb the ranks. If somebody wants to cry about you didn't pick a hard enough character, let them cry. It's not your job at all to impress their ego. It's your job to win. And that's what we all want to do in this game. At the end of the day, we just want to win. If you want, let me know what character you play with. Leave it in the comments and tell me how people try to discredit you because they're just salty and they don't want to learn your character or try to get better at the game. Because honestly, man, if Lars played the game for me, then I must have trained my PS5 controller to be really good. So, yeah, man, let's not be salty. Let's try to get better and work on your fundamentals. Peace.